Hey guys, welcome to What's the Talk? It's CGTN's first soft debate show. I'm Yang Xinmeng. What you are seeing now is our special stage in the metaverse, where our guests from all around the world will be joining us, meeting each other, and debating. So thank you so much for tuning in. We are currently streaming on various media platforms, including Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Weibo, WeChat, Bilibili, Yangshipin, and of course, CGTN's official website. Now, feel free to join our discussions and share your opinions anytime with the hashtag What's the Talk. We are very much looking forward to hear your thoughts. Now, summer vacation has begun. Recent graduates are entering the job market in the summer. So in the last episode, we talked about career path choices, either to be a boss or an employee. And today we are going to take this topic one step further. What should we work for, passion or money? So for this topic, we are again very honored to have 6 guests joining us online. I see some are familiar faces. Welcome back. And we also have 2 new friends, Anne and Noelle. Let's get to know the lady first. So Anne John, she is an influencer online with millions of followers. And tell us about yourself.
Hey guys, thank you, Xinmeng. My name is Anne, aka Zhang Dawanzi, which is my online name. I'm so glad to have this chance to join this talk. I am a social media influencer, so-called Wang Hong. I'm also a film producer as well as a business starter. I started my own educational brand this year. So I'm looking forward to get new thoughts from you guys today.
Thank you for joining us. And we also have Noelle. He is from Spain. He is a current graduate student in China. He also has millions of followers online. Hi, Noelle. Welcome.
I'm from Spain. I'm right now in Beijing. And yeah, I describe myself as an influencer as much as I have like 3,000 million followers, which is not much, but they're my followers and I love them all. And I'm also now studying at Communications University of China and I'm studying film.
Cool. Thank you for joining us, Noelle. And let's welcome Guxi, winner from the last episode. Hi, Guxi.
Hello everyone. Hello, my audience and my familiar faces. And I'm Guxi, co-founder of an artificial intelligence startup and host of a fitness podcast as my side project. Super happy to finally take another stand this time and super looking forward to talking to you guys and probably debate.
Okay, welcome back. And let's welcome Michał Bodzeski from Poland. He's also one of the winners from last time. Hi, Michał.
Hi, thanks for having me. I'm glad to be back here. So yeah, for anyone who didn't see the previous debate, I'm Michał. I come from Poland, from a smaller city, but I'm currently living in Łódź, and I'm a procurement specialist in a large global company. But on the topic of today's debate, I'm also a part-time musician. So this is what I do pretty much all the time after work. So I'm hoping to have some nice conversations going today. And yeah, I'm glad to be here. Thank you.
Welcome. And let's welcome Jim Fields. Hi,
guys.
Jim.
Hey, thanks so much. This is my second time being on the program, so really excited to see you guys today. I was feeling pretty good because I have around 30,000 followers on YouTube and Bilibili, but after hearing about everybody else, I think I'm a bit embarrassed. So hopefully I'll learn some things about how to grow my channels today from the other people on the line. And yeah, really excited for this chance to join the debate.
Well, now your goal is not only to impress these people, you have to impress their followers as well. Also, let's welcome Enoch Wan. Hi, Enoch.
Hi, everyone. My name is Enoch Wong. I'm from Hong Kong, China. After graduating from Tsinghua University, I now work at the university as a senior manager for online education and international cooperation. And for today, I love money.
All right, so glad to have you all here. Now let's move on to today's topic. Okay. So today's topic, work for money or work for a passion. Before the show, I know everybody has already picked their positions. We can see the lineup here. Noel and Anne are in Team Passion. They're new. I'm sure they're so passionate about our show. So they chose to be in Team Passion. And Jim and Enoch, Team Money. While Gushi and Mahal, partners since last time, they're reserving their views for now. They are on the neutral side. We did a survey on social media before today's show. We asked people how they're going to decide between a higher paycheck and a position that better matches their interests. So let's take a look at the poll now. All right, can we see the poll from the screen? All right, okay, so the results are so close. But just from the poll, I can see that Passion Team wins with slightly more votes. Among the 7,014 votes we received, about 52.1% of people chose to match their jobs with their interests. All right, so does this give you more pressure, Team Money?
No, I think this just make it more fun.
Cool. So let's just turn the pressure into motivation, and let's take a look at today's rules.
Welcome to the metaverse.
I think we're supposed to have a rule video to explain the rule, but it's okay. I'll just explain the rule here. We have 3 teams here. Each team consists of 2 players. So the oppositions will battle it out during the first round to attract the neutral team to join their side in order to battle together in the second round. And in round 1, okay, I think the video is ready. Let's take a look at the rule video.
Our rules are as follows. Each team consists of 2 players. The oppositions will battle it out during the first round to attract the neutral team to join their sides in order to battle together in the second round. And Team Neutral has the opportunity to ask both oppositions questions after their statements. Round 2 is a free debate, and everyone gets to raise their questions. But please do remember that the individuals in the neutral position have the right to turn cold. Therefore, they can still change their minds after the second round, based on what impressed them the most.
Okay, so are you all clear about it? Good?
Yep.
Right. Cool. So to those of you who are watching, you can also get involved by sharing with us your ideas, concerns, questions, or stories. We welcome all different views. Just comment below and let us know. Now, teams, let's start our debate. Work for money or work for passion? Since Team Passion is new here this time, let's begin from Team Money. Time limit is 2 minutes for each person, and after the first arguments from both sides, the neutrals can ask questions. All right, so Jim and Enoch, who's the first speaker?
Enoch.
Go ahead, Enoch.
First.
Cool. Shall I start?
Yeah.
Excellent. Passion or profit? Work for passion or work for money? Who is right? We often hear motivational speakers say, never give up on your dream. Always chase your passion. Always chase your dream. But the choices here today is really about after graduation, right? Should you work for passion or should you work for money? If you want to work for money, we're not asking you to give up on your passion. And if you work for passion, we're not asking you to give up on money either. is simply an intellectual choice. And today, I want to focus on the money team. I want to focus on the argument from the perspective of after graduation, and then ease into the topic where Jim, my teammate, will focus more on comparing why profit is always better than passion. For me, people chasing money is a logical choice. People chasing passion is an emotional choice. We often hear, my first argument is that we often hear that when we chase passion, money will follow. But that's not always true when you think about it. You know, if you're passionate about playing basketball, it doesn't mean you earn millions in the NBA. If you're passionate about drawing, it doesn't mean you open a museum and become a curator. You know, you're passionate about cooking, it doesn't mean you open a Michelin star restaurant. But however, if you have money, it's very, very easy to finance your passion once you have money. So my first argument is that, you know, it's easier to finance your passion once you have money. And I want to explore why your passion is not making money and why some people do. We have two very successful influencers and more here. And the reason why they're successful is because they managed to convert their passion into someone else's passion, right? They managed to convert their interest into someone else's interest. And this is a process, what I call creating value. This is literally making money. You're able to monetize your interest, monetize your passion. And ultimately, at this particular process...
Yeah,
sorry?
We have countdown shown on the screen. Your time is up. So, but you can keep keep sharing your opinions in the following round. You have more opportunities, and let's hear from the passion team. Noelle or Anne, who takes the lead?
I can go first.
Okay.
Okay. So first of all, I want to correct a concept of Enoch. Work for passion doesn't mean that you work for free, you know. You will still get paid. You will still get a certain amount of money. Otherwise, the company will be sued to death, okay? So the question here we discussed today is when there are two jobs after graduation you're facing. One pays more, but you don't really like it, while the other one pays less, but it is what you're passionate about. Which one would you choose? So this is the question. Let me put it in this way. Choosing a career is like getting married. Like work for money without passion is like marrying a guy who is rich, but aloof, cold, boring, always upset, not supportive, and might be like abusive. You might be dazzled by his money for a while, but trust me, it's not gonna last long because it's not healthy and not sustainable. Okay, what's more, passion is a lot more important than what you think because passion brings variety. How do you tell people are different aside from their appearance? It is their passion. Like what you said, if all students, if all students, they're going to get a job in like finance, tech, real estate, those high-paid industry. So the industries like academic research, public health are no longer needed because they don't bring money as much as those high-paid salary industries, right? Last but not the least, passion creates legend. So let's say like Steve Jobs, an electronics enthusiastic, established his own company and worked on the prototype of iPhone in the garage. So here is Apple. Like Ang Lee, the film director, failed to make films dozens of times. He almost gave up his passion of films and go to study computer science because that makes him money. So, but you know, at the end, he just keep like working for directing films. So here we are. We have The Life of Pi, Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragons. You might be like, oh, you won't be able to start business or make films without money. Well, money always builds the building, but the foundation always created by your passion.
All right, Anne.
Okay.
Time's up for you, but thank you so much. That was a good start. And Gucci and Mahal, each of you can only ask one question, so think carefully. It will help you make the decision in the next round. Gucci, go first. Who do you want to ask and bring up your question?
I'd like to shoot a question to passion team. Because we know fresh graduate might lack ability to distinguish what's real passion and what's the immediate impulse. So there's a risk of diminishing their passion when not financially ready, and passion became a waste. So how do they know if that passion worth a try? Yeah, that's my question.
Well, my thing is, if you think passion is an emotional impulse, then why money doesn't? Let's, to be honest, money goes around. So let's say you know that being working in the real estate industry, it's a very high paid job. Then everyone goes to the real estate industry. But you know, when the economy shakes, everything just changed. Like there's a big layoff in those real estate companies, you're still not getting money. So that is the thing I'm talking about. Money can go around, passion can go around, but believe in yourself, always be yourself, always follow your passion, can always be the things that, you know, make you feel good, not money. That's mine.
That's a good answer. Thank you.
Okay, Mahal.
Okay, so my question, I also wanted to ask Passion Team. So I'm wondering, you know, about a certain situation, because you said it's often a choice between work that you enjoy more, that is connected to your passion, and the work that pays more. But what if, for example, you live in a, I don't know, smaller city, or maybe just, you know, your area doesn't support a certain type of job right now. So like, what would you do if there was no job that supports your passion at all? So would you wait, or would you still like go and try to get on the money job while waiting? Pretty much. I'm talking about, for example, what if you're a musician in an area, for example, and it's not that hard to, I mean, it's not that easy to enter that market. So should they just wait, for example, for an opening, and how long it would take? Like, what would you do in this situation?
Well, once again, work for a passion doesn't mean you work for free. So people always will find a way to get paid, no matter they work for money or passion. Let's say if you want to be a musician and you cannot like find a job that can well support your life, but you can always get a job, maybe have a, let's say, a minimum wage, or you can just teach students online. You will always find a way to get paid. It's just a question of would you sacrifice a certain level of quality of your life to, you know, for the dream, the passion of yourself? That's the question we're discussing. So I think people have the people are flexible. They can always find a way to make money, I think.
Right. Thanks.
All right. Thank you, Anne. Oh, that was a heated one. So let's move on to Team Money. Second speaker, Jim.
Yeah. So lots of interesting ideas. And I think for me, hearing, you know, for instance, some of the comments that Anne made, for me, it's a fundamental question, which is when it comes to picking a job, you know, Anne talked about two scenarios. One is being in a company or a job that pays you less money, perhaps you're more passionate, or a different scenario where you're being paid more money, but you're less passionate. And it comes down to me for what is the purpose of a career? Is it to give you fulfillment, or is it to put food on the table? And for me, the reason I'm on Team Money is because the thing I see careers being useful for is, you know, giving you the funds and things you need to live a successful and healthy life. So I've had many different careers. I had my first job as a barista at Starbucks. I've sold magazines. I've worked in, you know, several different companies, and eventually set up my own company long after all these different trials and tribulations. But all these different experiences and all these different jobs, none of them are really connected to my fundamental passions. You know, I have passions outside of work now. I have two little cute puppies that I'm very passionate about. I really like weightlifting. That's something I'm very passionate about. But I'm also not running a gym, and I'm also not running a pet shop, because pet shops don't do very well in terms of, you know, putting food on the table. Well, maybe for pets, but not for humans. And gyms, yeah, are very competitive, especially in, you know, the cities that I live in that are filled with many other gyms and fitness businesses. So I think for me, it kind of comes down to, you know, in the modern generation, I think we all think that our fulfillment, our joy, our purpose in life needs to come from our work. But for me, I don't know if that's true. I think that our purpose and fulfillment can come from outside of work. You know, for me, when I'm taking my puppies for a walk or when I'm in the gym, and I wouldn't necessarily look for that in my career. So speaking to those young graduates out there, I would say, don't necessarily conflate your work with your passion. Find something that's going to put some money on the table, put some food on the table, and you can worry about your passions once that's under control.
All right. Thank you. And let's go to Noel?
Yes, let's go for it. Okay, first of all, I would like to answer Jim's is not a question, like Jim's argument, because and my colleague was also always saying that that working for passion is not for free. Like when we work for passion, we are choosing between buying a Louis Vuitton bag and enjoying our job. It's not like we are choosing between eating and enjoying. When we work for passion, we have enough money to keep living. And then it comes my argument. Like we spend all our lives studying things that we don't like. And when we go to the high school, it gets even worse because we have to study lots of things that we don't like. And then when we go to university, we start enjoying life. We start enjoying and we start doing something that passionates us because we choose our careers, at least for most of us. And why do we have to get rid of it after graduation? Why do we have to forget our passions and go back to the market and go back to do something we don't like just for money? Why don't just enjoy life? We just have one life. Our life is short. We just should enjoy our life and enjoy the time we have here. We have to make our own decisions, not for money, but for ourselves. Also, my second argument would be like, we spend most of the time at work. Even though it's something we don't like, but we are like 13 hours, like 8 hours at work. And it's like this in most of the countries I've visited and most of the countries I have friends of. So for people who say like, I can like spend all the time at work and get a lot of money and then spend my money when I am out of work, I would like to ask you, like, are you even out of work? Never. Like we live in super workaholic societies when we have to be always on ready to work. Do you even have time to enjoy your money?
All right, Noel, here rings the bell. Okay, so Gushi and Mahal, any questions, judgments, doubts to any team?
So I have a question for Jim, which is sort of like a personal question. I mean, I could get this question myself from my coworkers or something. Like, do you ever feel like you're missing out in a way that you talked about this duality between your passions, for example, the gym and the pets and the work where you get the bread on the table. But do you ever feel like you're missing out, that maybe if you made some different decision and you worked for your passion, you would like feel better or something like this? Does it happen to you? I'm really interested because, you know, I battle with this question all the time myself.
Yeah. Well, thank you for asking, Mikhail. I think it's a great question. And I guess like for me, it's always been trial and error, you know, trial and error, trial and error, trial and error. And I have had moments in my life where I have tried to turn my passions into careers. You know, I was a kid who originally wanted to be an astronaut and then wanted to be an artist and a painter. And none of those things turned into viable careers. Nobody really wanted to buy my pictures. And later in life, with this gym idea, you know, I've actually explored that. I've helped to set up a gym business in Shenzhen, but being in the trenches and trying to get people in the door and literally walking around the city of Shenzhen with tiny business cards that I would hand out to people with the gym information and try to get them to come. It was a brutal business. And although it was a personal passion of mine to do outside of work, I just didn't see it being viable from turning it into money, you know, turning it into a career. So, you know, I admire people who can do both. But at the same time, I kind of like the fact that you can separate the two. You know, I can be at work when I'm at work and I can be enjoying my passion when I'm not. And in some ways that duality makes life more interesting, right? Because I'm not doing, you know, I'm not spending my entire day in the gym. So yeah, I think mixing things up can actually be quite fun.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, thank you. Gushi?
I also have a question for team money. I have a more practical question because I'm thinking about what you just said. And if everyone chooses money and doing things with comparatively less passion, will we see less vibrance in our society? Because sometimes we do need some crazy nuts to push the human nature forward, right? We do want someone who think bold, think wild, not to think too much about money and just do things and just follow their heart. Yeah, that's my question for team money.
Enoch, do you want to answer or do you want me to go?
Jim, you
why do you go on this run?
Yeah, well, Gusi, you were mentioning about people who are a little crazy and a little nuts. And actually, I think a lot of the people in our modern world who are a little crazy have a lot of money, right? Earlier, before we started the episode today, we talked a bit about Elon Musk, who's currently one of the richest people, I think probably the richest person now in the world. And he keeps us all entertained with his tweets and with his interesting personality and all the adventures that he has on social media and off social media. So I think that, there are people for whom money isn't just, something that's keeping them tied to their desk, and keeping them on a very boring path. I think that a lot of artists and creatives and innovators have also been people who have happened upon financial success. And I would agree with what Anne said earlier. You can turn a passion into a career, and some of the most financially successful people are people who have done that. But I think those people are like 1 in a million, and that's why on Team Money, we're advocating, that if you want to find a way to, potentially nurture your passions, perhaps the better thing to do is have a job that pays the bills, and then you'll have that freedom and flexibility to explore your passions outside of work.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. And Gushi and Mahal, now you are going to choose a team to battle together in the next round. What is your decision?
I'm slightly more persuaded by Team Passion.
Team Passion, Gushi, okay. And Mahal?
Yeah, that's great because I'm slightly more persuaded by Team Money.
Okay. Now we have a 3 versus 3 situation. It is a new lineup for the next round. So before we move on, let's take a short break. We did a Voxpop asking random people's opinions on this topic. So let's see the Voxpop, see what they have to say.
Passion. 我喜欢的工资不会很高。In the field that you're passionate about.
Follow your passion.
Money. For money.
Money.
没有那么讨厌，但是薪资相对高一点的工作。
不知道怎么选，就有点迷茫。
If you work for passion, you will get motivation. So you will definitely work harder on your daily tasks. At the end, you will probably find out new opportunities.
If you're really passionate about something, you're gonna work hard enough. You're gonna put in the effort and the time and the work that it takes to make the money eventually.
If I chose to work for my passion, I can still find a creative way to make it lucrative.
工作它其实伴随你很长时间的一个事情。如果你选择了一个自己不是特别喜欢的工作的话，你会在这个事情上用掉你生活中很长的时间。
Once you get into positions that it's just about the money, it can last for a really long time, and it's a pity to waste those really energetic and vital years of your life.
If you follow your passion, it is always going to make you happier in the end.
When I went to my first job, I worked for my passion because at that time I didn't realize the importance of money.
There's an old saying goes in China that you cannot chase your dream if you stay hungry.
多同学也面临着这样的情况，就是他所喜欢的事情可能没有办法支撑他在一个行业生存下去。
Between the 20s and 30s, maybe it's better to work harder, maybe in something you don't like, and get a little bit more money.
So the priority that you should do is to earn the money by themselves and spend the money by themselves.
自己喜欢的事不知道自己能不能做，这是一个问题。
人不只要满足自己的需求吧，还要满足社会对他的一个需求。那社会的需求在一定程度上会体现在收入方面。
I'm trying to pass here is not that we cannot follow our dreams, but maybe later.
就是你可以先把自己先充实起来，再去想自己的方向。
Money is the only way that motivates you.
All right, so passion is of course important, but money is also crucial. I hope the video gives you more ideas. And now let's move on to the next round. This is going to be a free debate session. Each team has 3 minutes in total. We have a countdown shown on the screen, so keep an eye on it. So Gushi and Mahal, you are going to debate with your team together, but remember you have a chance to turncoat after this round. You can change your mind depending on how this session goes. So use it wisely. Now this time we start from Team Passion. Three players from the passion team. Who wants to go first?
Should I go first?
Okay, and takes the lead.
I want to ask the questions to the Team Money. Why you're here in this TV program? Is it because CGTN pays you a lot today? Why don't you make a good use of this time to make more money? That's my question. Anyone can answer?
Great, but the question here today is after graduation. Most of us graduate for a very, very long time. Let me respond to what Noel mentioned. Why get rid of this passion, or why not just enjoy life? Because I think enjoyment, you need to earn the enjoyment. As Jim mentioned, passion doesn't pay rent. When the rent payment comes, it reminds you the importance of money. When you're reminded that you need to pay taxes, passion doesn't pay taxes as well. As a part of growing up and graduating, it's about being responsible for yourself. It's about being responsible for the society. So my question to the passion team is, what happens when your passion doesn't pay rent, when it doesn't pay for taxes? Do you just go back to your parents? Like, what does that mean to be a part of an adult and growing up?
Well, I think here is the situation we're talking about now. Passion doesn't pay tax, but working for passion pays tax. So you ignore the most important part is work. Work for passion. The purpose is passion. So my question is, if like everybody, your name is, sorry, I forgot his name. Enoch, sorry. Enoch, you are in education industry, right? Okay, so my question is, why don't you go to computer science industry? Why don't you go to finance? There are so many investors, bankers in Hong Kong. Why don't you go there? Why don't you go for those high pay salary industry?
I'm going to give a chance to Mikhail and Jim in a minute. But what I want to say is that when we graduate and when we work for money, I'm not expecting everyone to be Elon Musk. I'm not expecting everyone to be a billionaire. But what I expect is that I'm able to make a minimum. I'm able to afford my living. And that's what I'm doing currently. I don't rely on my parents. I'm financially independent since I was 18. And that I'm proud of. And I don't forget the fact that I need to pay my taxes and I need to pay rent every single day. So yes, I don't just mindlessly follow money, but I need to understand that as a part of graduating, I need to take that into consideration, and I can't just be a kid anymore.
We are proud of you as well. We are proud of you as well. But my question here is, working for passion doesn't mean that you don't get paid at all. You will still get a certain amount of money that you will get, which can also pay your tax. Okay. I'm sorry. Let's give it to Guxi or.
I also want to answer Enoch's question because if you find it hard to make ends meet with following your passion, great, because this is a good chance to rethink if you're made for this, if you're this type of material, and then you might have to choose, or you might probably chosen the wrong passion and then rethink, and then you need to pivot to the next direction of your life, right? And also there's a concept called compound interest, and that says keep investing in yourself and you get a harvest with the benefits of time and living with your passion. I think
Great. Invest in yourself. What do you invest with? You don't invest with passion, you invest with money. And that's why you need to work for money and then develop and nurture your passion. And that's great. We're not asking you to give up on your passion when you work for money. But what we're asking you is that when you graduate, you need to look after yourself. Let's give the opportunity to Mikhail and Jim to say something as well.
Go ahead.
I wanted to extend this idea that working for money doesn't mean that you're living for money. So working for money, like you said, we're not here, for example, to earn money. In this debate or something like this. It just work can. For me, it's about work-life balance. This is what I enjoy the most, I think. So working takes a certain part of my day, and after work, even though I'm working mostly for money, but after work, I don't really think about it. So I can do anything else. While I think, if I wanted to be like a full-time, just try all the time to be a full-time musician, I might get burnt out, frustrated. This is my point.
Let me answer your question, because we are not saying that we are not getting paid. Like, the difference is that we depend on us. We are investing in ourselves, and we have to get the investing. That is the difference. When we say working for job. Like, you know, we have a job and we may have like everything. It just means that we prefer.
Well, sorry to interrupt, Noel. I think there's something wrong with your microphone. Can you check your microphone now? And we can't hear you very clearly. We'll come back to you later.
I just want to add very quickly what Mikhail mentioned. I think there's a famous saying that say, if I make my hobby my job, then I will enjoy my job. But there's another way to look at this, is that if you make your hobby a job, you don't enjoy your hobby anymore. And that's very, very true. And that's the reality of this.
Jim, you haven't said anything till now. They are fighters, I know.
Yeah, I think it can be quite dangerous to turn your passion into your job. I think I'm echoing what Enoch said. I remember a time when I was a little kid and I was very excited because we had a lemon tree in our front yard and I had it in my mind that we could sell lemonade. And I was like, oh man, I'm going to make all this cash and I'm going to have fun doing it. It's like passion and money. And it seemed like a good idea at the time. And then I found myself out for my 6th hour in a row on a hot California day, selling piles of lemonade and grinding lemons and selling to my neighbors. And this thing that initially seemed like a little entrepreneurial passion project turned into.
What do you think, Jim? I think that's time's up for Team Money. And Team Passion, you still have time left. So keep on.
I do want to continue what we were discussing with Enoch about the way you chose to nourish your life. I do think living with your passion is the best way to find to nourish your life, because you always feel alive, right? Instead of trying to always make ends meet or trying to pay your rent. And I think this is the best gift for a young generation, to have the passion, or even to distinguish the passion, or even always on the way to find their own way out. And that's a gift. That's a gift from the era we're in. That's why I'm still firmly standing with the passion team. And that's also what I've been always doing, follow my passion. And I find it super useful because I grasp people around me who are saying passionate about their business, about their career. And I find that environment super stimulating. And that's also another gift. And that's why I said, and also ultimately I want to say it's a life altitude to choose live for passion or for money. Just, money, and then I forget about passion. This is
I heard about Teams Up for Team Passion. Thank you, everyone. Now I guess is the most exciting moment. We finished a free debate, a very, very hot debate. Gushi and Mahal, are you going to turncoat?
No, more discussion and involved, more persuaded I am. The passion team.
Mahal, it's up to you.
I mean, I have the same, but for money team. So no turncoating here.
Oh, all right. So we have a tie here. I think that's our final results, final lineup. Congratulations, both team. Well, it's interesting to see a tie in a debate, but I guess that shows, there's no right or wrong arguments regarding life choices, because both ways have pros and cons. Both ways can be very successful. Just look at you guys. You had different choices, but you are all very successful in your own career paths. Now, remember, we asked each of you 3 questions before the show about your first job, current job, and your dream job. So let's take a look at your answers.
What was your first job after graduation?
So my first job was working for a global media company as business development associate.
What is your current job?
My current job is as co-founder of an AI technology startup, and also I'm doing my own fitness podcast as a side project.
What is your dream job?
And I'm pretty much doing my dream job currently, probably more relevant to content creation in the future.
What was your first job after graduation?
My first job after graduation was an intern in the sales team of a small Polish company.
What is your current job?
I'm a procurement specialist in a global pharmaceutical company. I make sure our company works with reliable, risk-free suppliers so we can do the best we can for our patients.
What is your dream job?
I've always wanted to be a musician, so I'm happy to live that dream part-time for now.
What was your first job after graduation?
I worked as an assistant producer in a film company, and that was my first job.
What is your current job?
I am a quite loyal person, so I worked as a producer in the same company. However, I also developed my own educational brand and also my social media career. I built several million followers.
What is your dream job?
Well, my dream job is becoming an entrepreneur who can really help a lot of people and also create profits.
What was your first job after graduation?
My first job after graduation was as an export assistant for a high-end furniture brand in Barcelona. And my main work was to open the Asian markets.
What is your current job?
Right now, I'm studying at the Communications University of China while making an internship in pop marketing.
What is your dream job?
My ideal job would be one that lets fly my imagination and let me be creative with what I'm doing. I would love to work in game designing or, for example, in film designing.
What was your first job after graduation?
Hello, my name is Jim Fields, and my first job was as a barista at Starbucks in California.
What is your current job?
My current job is I am the CEO of a company called Relay Video, and I'm also the CEO of a new company called Relay Club.
What is your dream job?
My dream job...
2 hours later.
So I have my own company, so you could say that my current job is my dream job. However, if I wanted to do a different job, it would be as a professional weightlifter.
What was your first job after graduation?
I chose to work at a top management consulting firm.
What is your current job?
After completing the Schwarzman Scholars Program at Tsinghua University, I now work as the university's senior manager for online education and international cooperation.
What is your dream job?
And as for my dream job, it's kind of just like that. I enjoy talking with different people, and hopefully that can inspire actions and make a difference.
All right, thank you guys. Welcome back. Just so you know, a little reminder, I think we are experiencing some audio issues. The audio sounds a little bit weird now. I'm not sure what the problem is, but we know that the metaverse is new. We do have some bugs here. I'm not sure if you have the speaker on or if you are watching the show at the same time. So please turn off the speaker. All right. So yeah, that was your really, really nice made videos. Thank you so much. And I do have some questions for you. I noticed that a lot of you said your current job is your dream job. I assume that's where your passion is. So that's really lucky because, you know, people say that if you are passionate about your work, you will never feel that you are working anymore. So do you have any suggestions based on your experience? How do you find your passion? I think Jim just said that current job is your dream job.
Yes, absolutely. And here at Team Money, I think that we would definitely encourage people not to turn their passions into their careers. You know, I've seen a lot of people around me talking about the gym industry before, who are people who really love weightlifting. And they're people who now in the gym business have actually stopped completely lifting weights at all because they've gotten so sick of being in a gym and they've had to, you know, wait for the moment where they can get off and finally go and do something else. So I think if it really is your passion, the best thing you could be able to do to nurture it would actually be to find a job doing something else. It could be, you know, something like an entrepreneurial job where you don't have to be there all day, where you have your own business. But don't turn your passion into a career because you might end up hating it.
Jim, I wonder, like, do you always know what your passion is, like, before graduate? Like, or is it something that you find throughout your career?
Well, I think this is the other danger about passion is passions can change, right? You know, I mean, I was a kid who had different passions than I have now. And even when I was in university, I was a journalism major before I ended up going into literature and now working in film production. So passions can be fickle things. And if you double down on a certain passion and that becomes your job and that's a job you're in for years and years, that can also be quite difficult. So I think you can definitely figure out what your passions are. But given how fickle they are, it might be wrong to make that thing your sole source of income.
Yeah, and I mean, from my experience, you can still find passions even if you started just working for money. For example, when I was a kid, I would never think about automating tasks as anything interesting to me or to my colleagues, because the passions I guess me and my friends had when we were kids were quite simple. So we would like to be an astronaut, for example, or our passion would be playing an instrument, something like this. But there are so many things you can do in the modern job landscape that maybe working this job that you might not find so interesting on the surface, but then working in it, you might find something else that interests you. So you can still find passions after graduation in places that you would never imagine.
And I just want to add something very, very quickly. So as a math graduate, so I study mathematics. I'm like one of the biggest nerds that you can find. So my degree is actually called Mathematics, Operational Research, Statistics and Economics during university. So I'm passionate about mathematics. But during my internship, I realized this is not something I want. Sitting behind computer is not something I want to do for the rest of my life. So I explore that passion and journey and realize talking to people is interesting. Listening to story is interesting, and be able to facilitate those conversations is even more interesting and powerful. So I think it's something that you can develop throughout your career.
Jen, will you encourage your kids to be passion driven or money after graduation?
You're asking me, will I tell my own kids?
Yes. What would you tell your kids to do? What would you choose to tell your kids?
Well, they don't exist yet, first of all. So just to put that out there, I don't actually have children. But I think, what I would tell my kids is it's hard. We live in a world where I think we all want to be celebrities and we all want to be the main character, whether that means being an influencer or whether that means finding, other ways to showcase yourself. And I think this is a pretty new idea. If you go back and talk to our parents or our parents' parents about the same question, about whether they pursued their passion, I don't think many of them would say that they, because they found their passion, that it turned into a career. And I actually really like the thing Anne said a lot earlier about marriage. I think about the fact that now we live in an era where we have all these dating apps, we have all these options, and our parents or grandparents' generation, they married the person who lived in their village, who was the only other single person because they didn't have another choice, right? So we live in a world now with so much choice and so many different possibilities that it can be kind of intimidating. And I think actually it's a little bit of a mistake to think that because there are so many choices, because there's so many options, that there's something perfect out there. So I might be old-fashioned, and I think maybe you're implying that I'm actually old, because you're asking about my children.
That's not my intention.
But I would say that for me and my old-fashioned mentality, I would tell my kids to build up a set of skills and career that works for them, that can make them successful, so that they can have a happy and healthy life, and their passions can, be things they pursue on the side or gradually things they can chase on their own outside of work.
Yeah. Then I have another genuine question. Isn't that knowing what is your real passion will help narrows down what you need to get the success in the end? If you want to be an entrepreneur, you want to be a film producer, then you just be clear what's the core skill set you will need, instead of just chasing money and you're running and swimming in an ocean of all these talented people around you, because it's not that hard to make money, right? And it's also pretty vague to know what it takes to make the big money, because it's not that everybody ends being Elon Musk. So we all need to know what is the niche for everybody. And then getting to know your passion and getting to be closer to your passion as soon as possible is probably the very efficient way to get to know who you want to be.
Absolutely. I think something what Jim mentioned remind me of a quote that Ray Dalio mentioned. He said, you can almost do anything, but not everything. I think the sooner you know you can't do everything, the sooner you won't waste time chasing things that you won't able to monetize. So I think after graduation, it's about making choices. There's no right and wrong choices, but if you don't make choices, it is most definitely be the wrong one.
Yeah, that's a good saying.
Okay, thank you guys. We still have that audio issues, but just minor issues. But just make sure that you check if you are watching the show at the same time, turn the speaker off. And I think I'm reading the comments from the social media posts. We get many supporters for both teams. Han from YouTube says, every successful entrepreneur is always advised that if you're good at work you do, the money will take care of itself. So just be the best you can be. And also, I think that's a supporter for Passion team. And we got a Facebook viewer saying passion certainly matters and it should be the preference. But considering the current market situation, wisely, it should be money. So I think that's a supporter for the money team. And we also have some neutral set as well. This is also a viewer, Bio from Facebook. He said he supports both teams because we need money to sustain yourself and to meet the necessities of life, just make ends meet. And have to, when we are working, have to display our interest and commitment while doing the job. Yeah, so to those of you who are watching, get involved, send us your opinions, questions, stories, concerns, and we will answer that in our show. And I know that many of you have slash careers, meaning that you are doing multiple jobs at the same time. So do you think that's a good way to get both passion and money you need? I think, Gushi, you can answer this question because you are working on a tech startup and also you have your podcast show. So tell us what it takes to handle multiple careers.
Exciting. I think, of course, it's going to take a lot of time. And I want to elaborate a little bit of my story. Since Enoch has mentioned, our passion develops, and it's pretty hard to distinguish and know what your original passion is after you just graduate, and how to get there. And my experiences when I just graduated, I found my real genuine passion in media industry. And I always find myself a dot connector, not only connecting different people, but probably different concepts. It's kind of like connecting different islands on the surface of the ocean. And I enjoy, as you, talking to people and exchange ideas, facilitate different things, being in the panels. And then I started to probably see more challenges. As you know, running a AI company sounds like a dope idea. So I feel like I'm beatable and I want to do both. And that's the point of me joining and co-founding an AI company. And later on, I find that I still didn't want to give up my dream in media. And I see making a podcast as a very efficient way, but less financial way, because I don't aim to make money yet, to keep my dream now intact. And later on, I'll think about it. That's why I want the dream and want my passion going as a podcast to keep nourishing me. And at the same time, doing the full-time job, running this tech startup to keep me still on the table in business world. And it's pretty hard, to be honest. The choose to be though is pretty hard, especially time management. But I'm grateful because if you're omitting your passion to different people and you see the support from around the world, and that's how lucky I feel like.
Thank you, Gushi. And I feel like you also have a lot to say in this question. You're a film producer and a content creator on social media, and you are also building up your educational brand. So how do you schedule yourself? How do you keep the balance? And tell us what's your daily routine like?
Well, to be honest, have a slash career would definitely take lots of your time. You will have to sacrifice a lot of your idle time. You will have to work 24/7, that's for sure. So I think every guest here actually chooses a slash career. So everyone knows how to balance life and work. So I think everyone here chooses passion as well as money. So that's why I think both teams are winner today. For me, I actually work in 2 different time zones. Because at night I will have to follow the Chinese time zone, and in the morning I will have to follow the Los Angeles plus the New York time zone. So that actually takes a lot of effort for me to get used to it. But I think for the career I'm having now, the film I produce and the educational brand I have, and also create content for my followers are definitely make me a very happy person. So I think it's all worth it.
I just want to add something very, very quickly is that I think what I realized throughout my career is that like money, you can always earn back. But your years of youth and your years of time is something that you can never ever earn back once it's passed. So I think anyone who is remotely successful, want to be successful, want to make the most out of the limited resources and time that we have, and that's why slash career become a very, very popular options. Is to try to squeeze in as much as we can while we are still very young and energetic.
Well, just a reminder. So when you're having a slash career, please remember to take care of your own health as well. Because I know a lot of people who squeeze their time a lot actually don't live long. I'm sorry, I'm just kidding.
I echo with that. The turning point for me to start my own podcast is I had an operation. And that was the moment I realized Yeah, so I agree with Anne. Take care of yourself.
Yeah, and I agree as well.
Right.
I have a lot of friends. I have a lot of friends who in their slash careers, for example, I have a photographer friend who really was missing out on sleep because after he was done with his day job, he just wanted to make the most out of, and he's the type of person, this is also like a type of person that really, when they start doing something, they really want to finish it no matter what. So this friend actually, he had to impose like a self-limit for himself. Like you have to go to sleep at maximum at 12 a.m. And he found that, even though he's missing out on like those night hours where he was really like into the tasks he was doing with his passion, he still feels better because he's just living more healthy, getting more sleep. So I think this is like really important what Anne said. Just remember to take care about yourself.
I also want to add that money is not a destination. Passion is also not a destination. I think both are leading to a better version of yourself. And that includes a healthy body that can function. So do care of good health as always your priority. And see this as the bridges, not the end. I mean, money and passion. It sounds like a rap, but it's actually not. Sorry, guys.
All right. I would also like to ask Noelle this question because Noelle, you seems to be very quiet here because I guess you are the only one who's still a student, right? You are the youngest one here, but you do have work experience before. You started as an assistant, a sales assistant, right? So do you think being an assistant will help you with your following career path? Do you think it's the best way or the fastest way to learn about an industry?
Well, in my opinion, like when I was working as an assistant, I was a shop assistant, and I worked for 3 different industries through my 4 bachelor degree years. So I was in textile, I was in compliments, in high-end brands. So it is like the best way to get in touch with the customer, and it's also the best way to get in touch with the industry products. But it's not really the way to understand the industry, because you can just understand the product, but you may not understand how are they made, or you may not understand lots of stuff that maybe you will need after graduation. But I think that is just one step. Like in life, we're always in the first step. At least that's my opinion, because we are continually learning new things. And I think the important is like even though we are always learning, even though we just are in the first step, it's okay to make mistakes, and it's okay to know that you made a mistake and just keep learning from them. Just don't feel the pressure of being always repeatedly and always not knowing something, because I think not knowing is what makes you know. So that is what being a shop assistant taught me when I was at university, and probably it's one of the most important things I learned in university, which is interesting because it was outside the university.
Thank you. And Mahal, you also worked as an assistant before. What's your take on this?
Yeah, so I was an intern in a sales team in a small Polish company, and this was, in a way, so out of everything I knew at the time, because I've just graduated my bachelor's, which was in Chinese philology, and I started my international relations studies for the master's. And just this local small Polish company was so far removed from international relations of any kind or Southeast Asia. We had nothing to in common with them, but I still think that it was an just amazing way to find out more about even just being in the workforce, just working in an office. I learned so much about the industry. I think it's the best way to learn about an industry is just to enter it from within. And I feel like it was an really important step in my career, because I tried to keep my interest and my passion in my mind, even if I was just working for money in an unrelated industry. So every little snippet that I could find, anything having to do with maybe foreign companies, some foreign suppliers, maybe some foreign product, anything that would pop out like this, I would just jump on it, try to get in on every little project like this. And I think this is what's important. This is what I want to say through this debate, that money and passion can go hand in hand, and it's not one or the other always. It's kind of a spectrum. So in this debate, we have a tie. I think this is also very symbolic in a way, just like in the poll where we had almost 50%. But right now, I would say for myself, I'm a bit more towards the money, but I still keep my passion in my mind. So you can still find ways to combine the two. And I think this is the most important lesson to get from this debate, and also from my first job.
Thank you, everyone. I think that pretty much concludes our talk today. It would be extremely lucky if you can have both money and passion together from a job. But if not, that's totally normal. That's the reality. And no matter if you're a recent graduate or currently facing, similar career-changing situation, we hope this can, bring you some hints or inspirations. And before we wrap it up, guys, I'd like to ask each of you to say one sentence to the recent graduates, advices, suggestions, warnings, or encouragements. Let's start with Noel.
Okay. In fact, I would say, don't be afraid of making mistakes. As I said before, because in life we made a lot of mistakes. For example, when I graduated, I started working international business, and I went to China to learn and study international business. And after my first year of master's degree, I just decided that wasn't for me, and I started a new master's degree about film, which is completely different. But I think I made a mistake and I learned from it. And you just have to understand that everybody makes mistakes, and you don't need to be a stress of it. Just relax and keep flow with your life and keep flow with what you want. Just go for it. You can work for whatever you want. So just don't be afraid of your work. That's all.
Okay, let's move on to Mahal.
Yeah, so for the last words, I want to reiterate my last answer. So money and passion can go hand in hand. Make sure that if you have a passion that's important to you, make sure to just keep it in mind, even if you're just working for money. And if you have a passion that you're not sure of, be open, because you might find another passion. You might find a branch of the passion you have that might be more useful in your workplace. And there's just a universe of all those different things. So yeah, don't stress it out. You can't do everything, but if you're focused, you can still find just your niche, your way, and you'll find the way to combine your passion and your work, either through a dream job, for example, or just working on one, like working throughout the day and then having your passion in the evening. Everything that works for you is the best. So yeah, don't stress out, and yeah, keep that work-life balance and stay healthy.
And Gushi?
I want to say it's okay if you don't have any of this. Like if you're lack passion, or if you don't have any anger for money. Because for such a long time in my life, I was so much driven by fear. And I didn't feel like there was passion in my life. And it's totally okay. I felt okay. I felt fine. And when I feel ready in a position that I'm ready for the win, then the opportunity shows and passion comes and falls down in me and shows me direction. So I want to say, don't let money-driven or passion-driven defines you. It's just method. Just go be a better self, and whatever suits you will appear in the end.
Thank you. And Jim, any suggestions?
Yeah, sorry, I was just busy counting my money on Team Money here. I have almost $30, pretty impressive stuff. So the thing I want to say is, for those watching, on Team Money in general, if you can build up a bit of a financial cushion for yourself with a career that plays to your strengths, it can give you the opportunity to pursue the passions that you have in your life. And I think everybody has passions. Here at Team Money, we're not saying to ignore your passions, but what we are saying is to find a way to balance, to bring yourself a career that's going to be able to give you the freedom and flexibility to pursue the things you really love.
And the last member from Team Passion, Anne.
For those fresh graduate who's watching this show, I think taking action is much more important than planning. So you don't have to worry or concern or feel suffering about your future. When you take specific steps, you will definitely find your way. Just clear your minds and break down your plans and just do it and be true to yourself.
Thank you. And Enoch?
Hey, Jim, I think I have the same idea with the money side of things as well. So I think, so going back to the question, passion or profit, logic or emotions, I think in real life, it's not a dichotomy. It's not an either or. It's a spectrum, it's a proportion, and it's a balance. And I think ultimately, I don't really like the P word, right? I like the E word. So instead of asking, what is your passion? What is your purpose? I think as graduate, I will ask you what energizes you, right? What gives you energy? And as someone who grew up in a blue collar family, as someone who grew up in a below sort of average and middle class family, I think don't feel bad if what energizes you is putting food on the table. What energizes you is to be able to support your family. What energizes you is make money. I think that's okay. And I think it's important to understand and forget about this passion and purpose. Find things that energize you. Find things that you're willing to wake up early in the morning and sustain throughout the whole entire day. And as long as you do that, I think you'll be okay. Thank you.
Great. So thank you so much, everyone, for your inspirational ideas and words. Career path is very, very long, so don't afraid to choose your first job. Don't expect to get everything from one job. Just think about what you want to get first. You can always move on to your next goal. If you can't do what you love now, at least you can try to love what you do. So thank you so much for watching What's the Talk. I hope you've learned something. And if you have any more questions or concerns, comment and let us know. Remember to follow us, and hope to see you again in the next episode of What's the Talk. Thank you. Bye-bye.